Hello! In this section, we'll cover ways to talk about your skills, goals, and values. My aim will be to give you a structure and some of the key vocabulary that you can use, with loads of examples. Let's start with skills. The basic phrase will be to say that you are good at something, and that something can be expressed as a noun or a gerund. As a refresher, the gerund is the ing ending of a verb. Let's see some examples. I'm good at forecasting. I'm good at identifying pain points and streamlining processes. I'm good at Java. I'm good at sales. Let me make a short parenthesis here. You can speak about your preferences in a very similar way. That is, what you like, what you love, what you enjoy. And here we would also follow it by a noun or gerund. Let's see some examples. I like giving presentations in front of a large audience. I love digital marketing. I enjoy working as part of a team. All right, we'll close the parentheses there and go back to talking about skills. Let's see some examples with other phrases that we can use to talk about skills. We might say, I'm a strong performer. I'm great at motivating people. I excel at delivering quality work under pressure and meeting tight deadlines. I'm an experienced graphic designer with a knack for usability. I have excellent communication skills. I have expert knowledge of the market and extensive business acumen. Of course, for statements like the ones we just saw, you will need to back it up with experience and preferably concrete examples that can demonstrate these skills. But we'll get into a lot more detail on that in the next sections. For now, let's move on to values. When we speak about values, we refer to our guiding principles, our deep convictions. It's linked to our moral compass and to our idea of what is good and how things should be. To talk about topics like these, we might say that we care about something, or that something is important to us, that it matters to us. We might also describe it as a priority or a key, fundamental, or paramount principle. Let's see some examples that can describe our values. Honesty is important to me. I regularly share constructive feedback with my colleagues. I care more about being candid, truthful, and authentic than about pleasing everyone. I am willing to have difficult conversations, and I appreciate it when my colleagues engage with me in the same way. I want to hear their honest opinions. It's the best way to truly get the best out of everyone. I'm convinced that agility is key to professional success. I'm generally flexible in trying a different approach when the situation changes. I also love a good challenge. I have huge respect for proven methodologies and following a plan. But what really matters is how we respond when unforeseen circumstances arise, or when we are presented with new opportunities. As you can see in those examples, we can send a more powerful message about our values when we can describe how they shape our character and our actions. One last thing about values. Watch out for this common mistake. If something isn't very important to us, we can say, I don't care, not I don't matter. For example, I don't care how many hours employees work. I care about results. I don't matter means something different. I don't matter means that you're not important, that others don't care about you. And that's definitely not the message we want to send in an interview. Finally, let's move on to talking about goals. When we talk about goals, we're expressing what we want to do, how we plan to achieve it, and as well as the opportunities that we hope to encounter. So we might say something like we can see in the following examples. I would like to work on international accounts. I hope to find a job in fintech. I plan to do an MBA. My goal is to develop my leadership skills with the objective of managing a team in 2 to 3 years. Finally, when we speak about goals, we'll often need to set a time frame for that. We'll cover this in a lot more detail in the next sections, but for now, let's see some ways of referring to that time in the future. Here are some examples. In general terms, we can talk about the short term or the long term. To be more specific, we can say something like by the end of the year, by 2025. Here, by means at the latest. We can also say in 5 years or in 5 years' time. We can also use an event in the future to refer to a time. For example, I would like to be a project leader by the time I'm 30. I hope to find a full-time job by the time I graduate. By the time I graduate is what we call a future time clause. Notice that although it refers to a time in the future time clause is expressed using the present simple. Finally, if we put this all together, an example of a goal might look something like this. In the short term, I would like to apply my product management skills in a more international environment and faster-paced company. This role would actually be an ideal opportunity for me to do that. In 3 years' time, I hope to broaden my scope by managing a small team. I recently started collaborating on a project team, and that is helping me develop my influencing and leadership skills. Or our goal might be something like this. Right now, I would like to continue diversifying my expertise in product design, working in different industries. I'm passionate about gaming and cryptocurrencies. These will drive innovation and will continue to grow in the coming years, so it's an exciting place to be. In the longer term, I would like to be a design lead. To help me fast track that, I recently completed a course in product thinking, and I have a mentor who is a design lead in my company. Great. Now, as a final comment, if your own objectives are not as clear and detailed right now, don't worry about that. We're just starting this course. Keep completing the worksheets in each section. Use the language sheets to help you do that, and you will soon see that things start to come together.